Alright, so today we're going to be talking about VoiceOver, and we're going to explain how does it work, what it's used for, and we're going to be working with a Mac laptop with the Mac laptop keyboard, so we don't have any number pads on the keyboard, and that's important because depending on what kind of keyboard you have different kind of options for screen readers. So what is VoiceOver? VoiceOver is an assistive technology which is used primarily by people who are blind, but also with people with other disabilities or people with no disabilities. It allows you to read the screen and operate it. That's what makes it different from a text reader, because a text reader just reads the text, whereas a screen reader allows you to interact with the screen, make purchases, listen to music, just do anything a sighted person can do with only the keyboard. There are three main screen readers that you absolutely have to test with every website you make to make sure it's accessible. The first is NVDA, which is the free screen reader for Windows. Second one is JAWS, which is a paid screen reader on Windows. And the third one is VoiceOver, which is the free screen reader on macOS. Alright, so like I said, people with different types of disabilities use VoiceOver. The number one people with disabilities are people with low vision and blindness, but also people with autism, ADHD, chronic migraines, and dyslexia. So let me demo it really quickly. So to start VoiceOver, I'm just going to press Command F5.
Welcome to VoiceOver. VoiceOver speaks descriptions of items on the screen and can be used to control the computer using only your keyboard.
Alright, so first time you turn on VoiceOver, you're gonna get that dialog, and you can go through a tutorial which is really useful, but since I already know how to use it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press don't show this message again, and here's the interesting part. I'm only going to use the keyboard to select do not show this message again. So this is going to show you how the VoiceOver is used. Now, there are two ways to operate VoiceOver. You can either use your mouse or you can use your keyboard. But we're going to use the keyboard because this is how more likely a real user of VoiceOver is going to use it. And to jump through items that are can be interacted with, we're going to press the tab key. Alright? So since I know how to use VoiceOver, I'm just going to press do not show this message again with using the keyboard. So I'm just going to tap through it. Alright, so we have VoiceOver on, and this is we're currently on the VoiceOver user guide for Mac, and I'm going to show you really quickly how to navigate the site with VoiceOver. So the most important button, and for beginners and everyone uses, is the tab key. Now the tab key is like your mouse. You basically control VoiceOver with the tab key. Now there is also something called VoiceOver cursor and a keyboard cursor we're going to be talking about later, but for now just remember, you want to do stuff on your computer and web pages with VoiceOver, use the tab key. Now I'm going to demonstrate how to do it. Now, and I want to show you that this panel here is called a speech viewer, and it's going to have the text of anything that's announced on the screen. And this is really, really useful, especially when you're auditing a website for accessibility, because then you can just take a screenshot and add it into your Jira ticket. Alright, so right now I want to focus the table of contents button and see what kind of topics are covered in this web page. And I'm going to do that only using VoiceOver and my keyboard. So to tap through interactive elements in a web page, use the tab key. So that's what I'll do. Right now we're on the logo. There is also an interactive logo, which is what usually are.
Heading level 1 VoiceOver.
Let's go to the tab key.
Tab, image. You are currently on a link. Search this guide. Edit text. VoiceOver user guide. Group. You are currently on a text field. To a table of contents. Button. Main. You are currently on a button. To click this button, press Control, Option, Space.
Alright, as you heard, VoiceOver said the name of each interactive element, its purpose in life, if you will, link or button, and VoiceOver also told you how to interact with it, right? So the VoiceOver button is usually Control Options or Caps Lock, right? So right now I'm on the table of contents and I'm going to have it read again. So if you're focused on an item and you want VoiceOver to read it again, you press VO button, which is caps lock or control option. And then I'll usually be using caps lock as my VO button. So I'm going to press caps lock and Z.
Table of contents, button, main. You are currently on a button. To click this button, press Control, Option, Space.
All right, now that we have focused our button that we want to focus, we need to activate it. And to do that, you just press the space bar or caps lock space bar.
The Mac desktop space, VoiceOver user guide, web dialog with 3 items, heading level 2, VoiceOver user guide. You are
All right, so we opened this table of contents, which is a modal window, and VoiceOver put the focus on the heading and it says VoiceOver user guide, right? So let's go now. I want to press VoiceOver Basics. So I'm gonna do is press the tab key until I reach VoiceOver Basics.
During VoiceOver user guide, web dialog with 3 items, VoiceOver Basics, collapsed button.
All right, so right now I have focused VoiceOver Basics buttons that I wanted to focus, and VoiceOver is telling me the name of the button, which is VoiceOver Basics, and it's also telling me its state. So it's saying, okay, it's a button, but it's collapsed. So when something is collapsed, what you want to do is uncollapse it, right? So I'm going to uncollapse it by pressing spacebar.
VoiceOver Basics, expanded button.
Notice how VoiceOver has told me, okay, the button right now is expanded. So this is one of the examples of how useful a screen reader is, because it not only tells you the names of the buttons and interactive elements, but also tells you its state, if it's expanded, closed, all that stuff. Now let's browse this button. I want to press Learn and Practice VoiceOver. So to do that, remember how we navigate interactive elements with the tab key. So I'm gonna press tab 3 times.
Link.
1.
Get started. You are current link. Turn VoiceOver on or off.
2.
You are current link. Learn and practice VoiceOver.
3. All right. Now notice how it says link, learn and practice VoiceOver, which tells me, okay, this is not going to be a button, this is going to be a link. So I'm going to activate link with spacebar, and you can also activate it with the enter key as well. Oh, sorry. My mistake. You activate links with enter, not with spacebar. So I'm going to press enter now to activate the link.
Global navigation. List 4 items. Visited link.
All right, it has opened to a new page and it's starting to read from the main navigation. Now this is something you can also change in your settings.
Learn and practice VoiceOver on Mac. VoiceOver off.
Another thing I wanted to show you that's going to be very, very important in your journey as a tester or learning VoiceOver is the WebAIM website. It is created and maintained by the Center for Persons with Disabilities from Utah State Universities, and it is an amazing resource that has so much information. One thing I wanted to show you is the screen reader user survey, and it says, and what they do is they basically interview a lot of people with disabilities or without disabilities that use screen readers. So I want to show you the screen readers commonly used, and we have number 1 is NVDA, number 2 is JAWS, and number 3 is VoiceOver. So that's why it is so important to learn VoiceOver, because it's basically in the top 3 screen readers commonly used, and it's personally my favorite screen reader, right? And then we have 4th place Narrator, which is the default screen reader for Windows. We also have Orca, which is the default screen reader for Linux, and so on and so forth. And they have graphs, they have stats, they have just so many things. Another thing I wanted to show you is that even though VoiceOver is 3rd place in the most commonly used screen readers on desktop, on mobile, the most commonly used screen reader is VoiceOver by a huge margin, all right? So 70% of people using screen readers on mobile are using VoiceOver. And now you might be thinking, well, Stefany, the VoiceOver on the iPad and the iPhone is different from the VoiceOver you're showing us. Yes, it is, but they have a lot of commonalities, right? So if you learn VoiceOver on Mac, you're going to know a lot of things automatically. VoiceOver on iPad or VoiceOver on iPhone, right? It's like when you learn Bulgarian, it makes it much easier for you to learn Russian because Russian and Bulgarian both use the same alphabet. I also want to show you this website that I coded personally. It's called Pointy Fencing Club, and it is accessible. It is WCAG 2.2 conformant, and I built it myself. So throughout this course, we're going to be testing VoiceOver with this website, and I'll also show you the code, and it will be so much easier to learn. And I'm very proud of this website because I coded it myself. It took me a month, and I used custom HTML, custom CSS. I didn't use any frameworks. So yeah, that's pretty much it about VoiceOver and screen readers. And I hope to see you in the next tutorial.